Good morning, friends, or good whatever time you're watching this. I have not filmed in quite some time, so excuse any awkwardness. I have not filmed in quite some time. I think it's been like half a year. I started school back full-time, and I don't know, I just stopped filming. But I'm back, and I got a camera, so I'm not using my iPhone to film anymore, which is great. I now have a Canon G7X Mark II because I'm a basic bitch. So yeah, I thought I would start off my filming again with talking about Taylor Swift, which is like my favorite topic to talk about probably. I've been wanting since Folklore came out to make a video about Folklore, but I was waiting to get my merch so that I could also show what I bought, and then I didn't get that until like November, and then she announced Evermore, and so I wanted to wait and see so I could like review Evermore, and then I thought I might want to buy some merch, but I didn't end up buying any. But before she goes and releases something else that I want to discuss, I thought I would go ahead and film. So I'm gonna start off with talking about my Folklore merch. I have not bought any Evermore merch. I actually like Evermore better as an album, but so I really want to buy some merch, but the Folklore merch was so much better. Like, I don't know if they just haven't released a lot of it yet. I don't know. I just like, there was so much cute stuff. Like, I wanted so many things from the Folklore merch, and I'm not really vibing with the stuff she's released so far for Evermore. Anyway, so Folklore merch. Let's just start off with the obvious one. I'm wearing the Folklore cardigan. I got it in a medium large because I like to feel comfy, and I was worried since it's an extra small and I'm not an extra small. I didn't know how tight the other one would fit. I think it would have been fine, but just to be safe, I got it in this size. It's so cute. It's so like cozy. I don't know, it's very thick. The biggest complaint that I have is that when I bought this cardigan, when I got it in the mail, I opened it and it smelled so bad, and I saw other people complaining about this on like Reddit or something, but I think it's because of the fabric. Like, it's a synthetic fabric, and so that's what other people were saying that they thought it was from, but it straight up smelled like mildew. I had to wash it like 5 or 6 times just to be able to wear it because it smelled so bad. I was like, I am not walking around in this. If I smell it up close, it's still not like, it doesn't smell like nothing, but you know, I've worn it a lot and I don't notice it unless I'm like, and even then I still smell like my perfume over the smell, so it's not that bad anymore. But yeah, at first I was horrified. I also got this sweatshirt. So my 2 favorite songs on Folklore, which I'll talk about this more, are Mirror Ball and My Tears Ricochet. But when I saw this sweatshirt, it's based on Mirror Ball, like tightrope walking, so I had to get it. Like, that was by far my favorite when I first listened to the album, and I was so excited to see that there was a sweatshirt of it. It's so pretty. I really like the design. It's such a cute sweatshirt. My only thing is that for me personally, the color is not super flattering. Yellows are always like hit or miss with me. This particular shade is not the best. However, it's still such a cute sweatshirt. I love it. I love the pattern, and it's really soft on the inside. It's really comfy. I got this in a medium too. So those are the only things I got that are like wearables. When she first released the album Folklore, she released like a bunch of different versions of the vinyl, and I got the Meet Me Behind the Mall one, I think, because August is one of my favorite songs too. So this is the cover to that one. I love that picture, and I love the dress she's wearing too. This is the inside. she released the vinyls themselves in a bunch of different colors and you didn't know what color you were gonna get. I got the gray color. I was really hoping for like the lavender or the like bluish one, but it's still cool that they're different. They're not just like black. So yeah, that's the color, if you can see. I just think that the album art for this was so pretty. I do prefer, that might be why I like the merch better for Folklore as opposed to Evermore, because it's like the songs on Evermore I like better, but like all the album art and like the aesthetic of it is just like, oh, I love. And I don't, Evermore gives me like more horse girl kind of vibes, and like that's fine. It's just not my vibe, but like this is my vibe. Like yes, this, all of this, love it. So I bought these like the night Folklore came out, and then the next day I think she released the rest of the merch, and then I bought the sweatshirt. But the last thing I got, which I ordered like a couple months ago, is a signed copy of the Folklore CD. So she released some of these and I missed like the first round, but then she released more. It looks like a real signature, like there's a smear or like a thumbprint in it. But you know, I don't know if someone else signed it for her, but it looks real. I hope it is. But yeah. So I was really excited to get this. But the cool thing about the packaging, I feel like she always does something fun with her merch and the packaging. And so nothing came with mirror ball, like the mirror ball sweatshirt, but with the cardigan and the vinyl and with the CD, I got a bunch of this star confetti. Oh, don't go with my teeth. So it's a bunch of just star confetti and in like different colors, and it comes with a lot of the merch. So it's really cute. I just like that they did that. It's just like tissue paper. But yeah, and I also got this postcard that has her cats on it. So you've got Meredith and Benjamin and Olivia Benson. Anyway, it's really cute. So that came with the CD too. I did not bend this, for the record. It came bent, which kind of sucks, but it's because I think the box for the CD was a little too small for it, but I'm happy I got it even if it's bent. So that was my merch. All of the merch I've ever gotten from her website is like nice. It's all good quality. It is hella expensive, but I still recommend, because I don't know, like I feel like sometimes I buy merch and it's like really cheaply made, but hers is definitely not. Okay, let's talk about my love of Taylor Swift. So I remember the first time I heard Teardrops on my guitar. I was at my friend's house. I think I was like 8 maybe, and it was when it was like getting a lot of attention, and she was like, have you heard this song? But she played me the music video, and I remember watching and just like becoming like, I just like felt that music. My little 8-year-old self felt that Heartbreak song real deep. But I just connected to it, and ever since then, like, there's been no comparison. Like, Taylor Swift is my favorite, and I don't even have a second favorite, like, you know? Been a fan for the majority of my life, and I don't know, she just never ceases to amaze me. Like, every album she comes out with is just like better in some way than the last, but all of them are like, from her first album, all of them are amazing, and I just don't know how she can do it time after time. I love her songwriting abilities, the openness with which she like discusses her emotions like through song, you know, like her self-expression is just so beautiful, unparalleled, you know, like there is not anyone that does what she does. And oh, I said I was going to tell the story of how I kind of met her. I was at Speak Now, and I had sprained my knee on a field trip, and so I was on crutches, and I got there really early because I always do that with concerts, and we were standing outside the venue, and there was this whole big group of girls that was also standing waiting, and I wanted to stand near them because, I don't know, I didn't want to like be apart from the crowd, but my mom, being brilliant, was like, no, you don't want to stand with them, stand over here. So we stood by these bushes. They were on the same sidewalk as us, but like farther away, and all of a sudden this big SUV drives by and rolls down its window, and all of them started screaming, and Taylor Swift was in the backseat with her mom, and she like waved to all of them, and then she rolled up her window and like kept driving, but then she saw me and she rolled down her window and goes, "What'd you do?" But I was so in shock. I was like 12, I think, at the time, or 13. And I was so in shock that I just stood there and went. And my mom started screaming and jumping up and down. But anyway, that group of girls started running, and so she drove away. So Taylor Swift talked to me. I did not talk to Taylor Swift. Yeah. So my mom swears that she would have like talked to us more or done something if those girls hadn't started running. So if you were in that group of girls, I understand you, but also you ruined a good opportunity for me. But yeah, so that was my close call with meeting Taylor Swift. I've met her bass player Amos twice. He's super nice. But this has been a whole life thing. I still wait up until midnight every time she releases an album. Still get so excited. But Folklore and Evermore really like brought it home for me. Like, I've loved all of her albums, but like I would say my two least favorites are 1989 and Lover. I know those are unpopular opinions. You can argue with me in the comments, totally get it, that those are like two of people's favorites, but I think it's just because I love her emotion in songs, and I love her like slow, lyrically driven songs, and those two albums weren't as lyrically driven, and they didn't have those songs that make me want to like curl up in a ball and cry, which for some reason is my favorite type of song. Also, like the way that she went kind of back to like folksy, more singer-songwriter, like felt nostalgic to me, because a lot of it reminds me of her early music and what I first fell in love with, and that was just so exciting for me. Let's talk about the music on both of them. Okay, so let's look at Folklore. Okay, I love The One. I think that is such a solid opener. Let me say my favorites. Okay, my favorites are The One, My Tears Ricochet, Mirror Ball, 7, August, Betty, Peace, and The Lakes. The lyrics on The Lakes is just, they're so good. I love the line, I want auroras and sad prose. I want to watch wisteria grow right over my bare feet because I haven't moved in years. Like, oh my god. Beautiful, so beautiful. So yeah, love that one. But I think my initial favorite on the album was Mirror Ball. I associate Mirror Ball with kind of the vibe that Perks of Being a Wallflower has, which is one of my favorite books and movies. And so when I heard that, it just like, I don't know, it just like felt, I have no explanation for why it feels like that to me, but it just brought the same energy. And also I just really relate to the lyrics, because I feel like I also tend to adapt to whatever people want to see from me. Like, I feel like I always show just one part of myself, like whatever part I think someone wants to see. Not to get too deep and personal, but you know. I'm a mirror ball, I'll show you every version of yourself tonight. Standing on my tallest tiptoe, spinning in my highest heels, shining just for you. I can change everything about me to fit in. Still trying everything to get you looking at me. Like, things like that, I just really related to those lyrics. Anyway, let's just get away from that personal conversation. Yeah, okay, Betty, like, That song grew on me so much. Like when I first heard it, I liked it, but then like the more I listen to it, the more like hype I get. And it feels like her first album, and I love that. Like it's just like the little country, like sassy kind of storytelling vibe. I just love it. My favorite song on the album now, I think, is My Tears Ricochet, which I'm usually a track 5 fan. My Tears Ricochet just like cuts deep. I love how kind of direct it is. This song, I'm pretty sure, is about like Scooter and Scott Borchetta, especially the line, "And when you can't sleep at night, you hear my stolen lullabies," because they literally like bought her music out from under her, which is just, I cannot imagine what that feels like to have your life's work not be yours. Like, oh my god, that is just so shitty. But the lyrics on this song, oh my god, they kill me. I didn't have it in myself to go with grace. Like, that's so beautiful. And if I'm dead to you, why are you at the wake? Like, she's so killer. We gather stones, never knowing what they'll mean, some to throw, some to make a diamond rain. You know I didn't want to have to haunt you, but what a ghostly scene. You wear the same jewels that I gave you as you bury me. Every time I hear this song, I get emotional, and especially like seeing her sing it on the documentary, which is so beautiful. It's just like there's so much pain in this song. So yeah, those are my favorites. August is just like pure vibes. Like we love August. 7 kind of made me anxious at first because of the like kind of haunting melody, but I think that's another cool story one. Peace is underrated. Peace is so underrated. Like, that is just a beautiful song. Just the concept of like, does the love overpower the inconvenience, you know? And I'm sure that's such a big fear for her, because it is hard to be in the spotlight and to have every move you make analyzed, and I know that's been a problem with her in past relationships, and I'm sure that she's spent like so much time worrying about if anyone will ever be able to put up with it, like if she's worth it. So shout out to Joe for, you know, putting that fear to rest a little bit. All these people think love's for show, but I would die for you in secret. Oh, and because there's robbers to the east, clowns to the west. I would give you my sunshine, give you my best, but the rain is always gonna come if you're standing with me. But Kanye West, like, clowns to the west, like she totally, yeah, did that. And then like the robbers to the east is Scott and Scooter, like stealing her music. That's such a clever relationship. She's so clever. She's so clever. Okay, so yeah, those are my favorites on Folklore. I just think overall it's just such a pretty album, and like I said, the vibes are so immaculate. I mean, there's not one bad song on either of these 2 albums. Like, they are all winners. Okay, let's move on to Evermore. So yeah, the album cover, it's a Folklore. I definitely prefer to Evermore, and just like the vibes in general, but the music on Evermore, I like every single song on this album. Like, it's just so beautiful. Starting with Willow, like, I feel like a lot of times I don't like her first single that much compared to the rest of the album, but Willow is beautiful. My favorites, Champagne Problems is 10 out of 10. Like, love that it has the same chord progression as All Too Well. And 'Tis the Damn Season, we love 'Tis the Damn Season. Also, I heard somewhere that she wrote that while drunk, which is just like, of course she did. That's that messy Sagittarius energy. That's just, it's great. Obviously, No Body No Crime is killer. Like, that's, I love the like Goodbye Earl vibes. Happiness, I think, is one of the best songs she's ever written. I don't see many people talking about this one, and I see people calling it boring, and honestly, if you think it's boring, you're not paying enough attention, I feel like. I know it's not like overproduced, but the lyrics are so incredible. Ivy is really fun. I like that one. I mean, it's not really fun, but I like the way it sounds, kind of like August. And then Evermore is so beautiful. I love her part so much, and I could listen to that all day long, and I do. But it took me some getting used to Bon Iver's part, because it literally sounds like they just placed a different song in the middle of Evermore. I like his part, it just doesn't flow well for me, but I've grown to love it, especially because of like I wish I could play it, but I can't. But at the end of his part, when she like holds out this like note, anyway, at the end of his part, she has this like really pretty little note that she sings over and holds, and that makes it worth it to me, because I just think that's such a beautiful part of the song. Okay, so going back to the top, let's look at Champagne Problems. God, Champagne Problems, just, I have listened to that so many times. That's probably the one I've listened to most. Like, starting at the beginning, you booked the night train for a reason, so you could sit there in this hurt. Like, I feel like we all know what that feels like, to just like, you want to sit in your darkness and in your pain. Like when we hurt our own feelings by listening to sad songs. And like, I definitely like to, on a plane or on a like night drive or whatever, listen to like sad or nostalgic music that just like makes me feel something. Your heart was glass, I dropped it. Great line. But the bridge, homegirl knows how to write a bridge. So I'm just gonna read the whole bridge, because your Midas touch on the Chevy door, November flush, and your flannel cure. This storm was once a madhouse. I made a joke, well, it's made for me. However green our group of friends, don't think we'll say that word again. And soon they'll have the nerve to deck the halls that we once walked through. 1 for the money, 2 for the show. I never was ready, so I watch you go. Sometimes you just don't know the answer till someone's on their knees and asks you. She would have made such a lovely bride, what a shame she's fucked in the head, they said. But you'll find the real thing instead. She'll patch up your tapestry that I shred. I don't think I need to comment on that. Okay, so Champagne Problems is definitely the one I've listened to most. I think it's my favorite to listen to. I think Happiness is the best written on the album, or like the best lyrics on the album. I honestly think it's one of her best songs ever, but Champagne Problems is just so But 'Tis the Damn Season is really good too, and like I said, I heard that she wrote it drunk, and that just makes sense to me. Happiness. I'm gonna take like a minute on Happiness, because no one's talking about this song enough. Like, y'all need to give Happiness more attention. Well, that's like a good message for life in general, but I'm talking about the song. Also, just the way it sounds. It's so beautiful and so simple, and all the years I've given is just shit we're dividing up. Showed you all of my hiding spots. I was dancing when the music stopped. And in the disbelief, I can't face reinvention. I haven't met the new me yet. I love that like theme throughout it. Like, I haven't met the new me yet. You haven't met the new me yet. Just the premise of the song, like, there'll be happiness after you, but there was happiness because of you. Both of these things can be true. Like, how do y'all not talk about this song? Haunted by the look in my eyes that would have loved you for a lifetime. Tell me, when did your winning smile begin to look like a smirk? When did all our lessons start to look like weapons pointed at my deepest hurt? There'll be happiness after me, but there was happiness because of me. Both of these things I believe, there's happiness. Honey, when I'm above the trees, I see it for what it is. But now my eyes leak acid rain on the pillow where you used to lay your head. After giving you the best I had, tell me what to give after that. All you want from me now is the green light of forgiveness. You haven't met the new me yet, and I think she'll give you that. I just love this song. I really think that I think Happiness and Peace are both like the two underrated songs from the albums. There's just so much beauty and vulnerability and authenticity. Like, they're both relatively simple songs that carry such an important message of life and hurt and fear and healing. Okay, so Evermore, though, first of all, it's just like I feel like I get put in a trance every time I listen to it. It's just so pretty. I replay my footsteps on each stepping stone, trying to find the one where I went wrong. My favorite thing about this song is there's a healing that takes place within the song, you know? Like, she starts off saying, I had a feeling so peculiar that this pain would be forevermore. And then as she goes on, by the end of the song, she says, I had a feeling so peculiar this pain wouldn't be forevermore. And I love that, like that flip of it. I like the verse, hey December, guess I'm feeling unmoored. Can't remember what I used to fight for. Because I think we've all felt like that. It's just such a beautiful song, and I think it's I feel like this whole album just or both these albums just portray human emotion and grieving and healing in a very authentic way. It's just very open representations of the struggle of life, its hardships and its good moments, and how not everything is one or the other. Like how in Happiness it says that there will be happiness after you, but there was happiness because of you. Both of these things can be true. And I feel like that's very true to life. Like, it's not either or. You don't have a villain in real life a lot of the time. It's just, it's complex, and human emotion is complex, and human life is complex, and it's not easy to understand the feelings. It's not black or white. All of life is a gray area. And I just think these albums really demonstrate that well. I don't know if anybody will care to watch this, but I've had a lot of things to say about this, and I did want to show off my merch that I spent too much money on. So yeah, if you haven't listened to these albums, which I'm sure if you're watching this, you have listened to the albums, but they're just really beautiful, and I think I'm happy that she's gaining more respect. I think like people who weren't huge fans are now becoming fans, and I do think that she's been treated so unfairly. There's just so much sexism that has plagued her career, but she's still overcome it and is still one of the biggest artists of the century, you know? Like, she will go down in history as such a huge part of the music industry. I think that's incredible that she has persevered through so much media attention. I mean, she started when she was 15, 16, so like half her life has been spent in the public eye. I can't imagine every aspect of my life being that public, and I can't imagine having all of my most difficult moments still being picked apart. And also, if you want to see more about her life and the inconsistencies between the media and who she actually is, Miss Americana is on Netflix, and it's a wonderful documentary that really, I think, shows some of the struggle. I just love her. I love her. And if you'd like more videos about Taylor Swift, I will gladly make them, because like I said, this has been such a huge part of my life, and I don't think I would be the same person without her. Like, and I know that sounds ridiculous and cheesy, but I mean, I started playing guitar because of teardrops on my guitar, and my whole life has been intertwined with her music. Okay, well, I don't really know what else to say. Like, I could go on for a really long time, but I think I've said the most important pieces. So that's my merch, that's my album opinions. I think they're both great albums. I don't think there's any weak songs on either one of them. Like, really, she doesn't really miss. Also, if you see me looking over here a lot, it's because I have my vinyl sitting there, and her eyes just kind of follow you, like you think she's staring at you all the time. So I've been getting distracted because I feel like Taylor Swift is watching me analyze Taylor Swift. Okay, well, that is my Taylor Swift video. Thank you for watching. I will hopefully be posting more now. Please like and subscribe. I hope you guys are having a good January and a good start to your new year. Bye!